Now, Deuce, I don't know if I've ever witnessed this. Maybe you've been around a quarterback. I said, listen, I'm not the smartest quarterback ever, but I think I can understand. I remember cramming the West Coast, running the 49ers offense in the Pro Bowl. So, you got like 3 or 4 days to prepare for that, and it's kind of basic. And then I remember learning to run and shoot. It seemed like that took me about 3 weeks to a month, where I was starting to feel comfortable. What Joshua Dobbs did to me is unbelievable. He don't even know the player's name, and they're talking him through the plays that's occurring. He was 20 of 30, 67%. Now, not so much with yardage, but efficiency, 158 yards, but a couple of touchdowns, no picks, a quarterback rating of 102. But this one gets to me because we have not been able to stop running quarterbacks.
Nope.
He had 66 rushing yards and a touchdown in his debut with the Vikings. So how concerned you are with Joshua Dobbs? Do you think we'll be ready for him or what?
Well, I think he'll be ready for him. And I think, from a getting a player's attention, I think that Coach Allen has gotten his players' attention. Now, it's one thing for me to get your attention, and it's another one for you to be able to go out there and do the job.
Right.
Bobby, all 4 guys can't be attacking the quarterback to say, I'm going to get the sack. Because if that's the case, all the quarterback is going to do is go where the weakness of that of your defense is. And so, I mean, you it's one thing to have a plan, but if everybody is going to have their own plan, then you're not going to be successful. So I can see the Saints saying, hey, look, you may not drop as deep on this play, or you may not. Your responsibility is going to be able to rush, but then you're going to hold up. So instead of rushing fully, your job is going to make sure the quarterback throws the ball, or you're going to bring pressure on the quarterback in a delayed sense. You can limit a quarterback. I mean, at times it's going to be just, hey, look, we're going to bring everybody, or we're going to bring our front 4, and we're going to drop into zones. And, we've got to be disciplined enough to be able to follow and understand what we're doing. And so guys have to understand it. Guys just can't say that I'm going to get a sack.
They're going to get burned.
Now you're going to get burned.
And, Deuce, and especially this could catch their attention. I remember the Cardinals put it to Dallas when he was there in Arizona. Now, but if you look at all the quarterbacks this season, he's second in rush yards. He has almost 350 yards rushing. So he's going to attempt to rush, and he has 4 rushing touchdowns. So that's why I think hopefully we've learned somewhat, considering the past success against us with running quarterbacks, that please do what the coach is telling you to do and don't be freelancing. We got to be disciplined, and what's your responsibility? Because this cat will run. He can make plays with his arm, but he can make a lot of plays with his feet.
Wherever he's been, he's always had that element to him.
Run, and he's not afraid. He'll take off and run.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. You just can't be free willy-nilly out there and just saying, I'm going to go get the quarterback. Now, you better have a plan and make sure it's in the structure of the defense.
Deuce, in 2019, when the draft came out, one guy, and Sean had made it known he really liked, was Alexander Madison, who is the running back at that time at Boise State. And because the Saints knew Mark Ingram, he was in the winter years of his career, and they kind of wanted that Thunder Lightning setup. Now, the Vikings picked him before the Saints could grab him, but he was a guy I know Sean really, really liked because he gave you that Thunder element. Seeing what Deontay Foreman did last week, I sort of think that we're going to see a lot more of Madison, and it's funny that Madison becomes the guy because, for years it had been Dalvin Cook.
Right.
And then, money and maybe some wear and tear on Dalvin, they decided to move on. And Alexander's the guy now. A little evaluation of Alexander as a back because he does bring that Thunder element as a power runner.
A runner and also a pass receiving running back. He hovers always around 100 total yards from scrimmage. So, no, and I looked at this, Deuce, and I was saying, man, talking about making plays not only as a running back but as a receiver. Right now, if you look at it, he's tied for second for most receiving touchdowns by the running backs this season. So he's amongst the best. So he's a complete back.
Now, he caught the ball a lot at Boise State.
Yeah, and what's interesting, though, they were kind of turning to Cam Akers to be the guy, kind of the featured back. And so, with Cam tearing his Achilles again, that's not going to be the case. And the guy that they're going to lean on is Chandler a little bit, as well as obviously Madison. But, I mean, he does give you that thumper mentality. And so for the Saints, it really won't be any different. You got to tackle the running back. Yeah. You got to tackle the running back. They will run a little bit outside zone. They'll run, some power where they like to move and pull some of the guards and the linemen and stuff. And so it's about being on your keys. Any team that can have success on first down, they will have the option to run the ball on second down. And so, some coordinators are like, hey, look, well, we didn't run it on first. We're not going to run it again this series. This Vikings team, and I don't have a feel for them yet because I can't tell you a lot of what they do with the quarterback. So you got to have to be able to be. There are no keys. You got to have to play tendency football, but there are no keys for any team to be able to follow. You go back and you can look at the Atlanta game, but I can't say that there's enough tendencies from one game to say, hey, look, this is what you expect. It's really going to be the Saints from a defensive standpoint. Man, it's going to be really burning the midnight oil because you'll go back and you'll look at Arizona a little bit to try to get a feel for the quarterback. You'll look at, obviously, last week, but you want to see some tendencies and some keys. That's what you'll have to try to find.
Deuce, the one reason why the Vikings weren't winning at the beginning because they're turning over the damn football. And I look right now, they're on a 4-game winning streak. We excited on a 2-game winning streak, but the Vikings 4-game winning streak, that's the longest in the NFC right now. But you know what's the difference? And we both 5-4. But the difference in their losses, they're -5. We all know about that, and we're +8. So I'm looking at that, Deuce. If we continue to do this, we lead the NFL right now with 12 interceptions. We tied for first in takeaways with 18. If we continue to do that, shame on us if we don't win.
The other thing, too, is Josh didn't throw an interception, but he had 2 fumbles.
Yeah. No, however you get it.
Yeah, however you're going to get it.
Take it away.
Bobby, I'm 100% for it. Whether it's interception, whether it's a fumble, just give me a turnover. Give me the football multiple times. Offense, go cash in. Go cash in, go get your 7, and I think that you can obviously win a lot of football games.
Now, Deuce, what about a Debo? Boy, it seems like, I don't know, what have you done for me lately that he's taken that next step? And you have this type of game that he had against the Bears, that's an all-pro level. It's that impactful. And you look what Lattimore brings to the table and Paulson and Debo. Maybe I'm being a homer on this, but I think your top duo of cornerbacks, why can't the Saints maybe be in that conversation in the whole league, considering the expectation what we think of Lattimore and where Debo's at right now?
Keep stacking them. Keep stacking them. I mean, that's the name of the game. What have you done for me lately? Keep stacking them. And so, teams are going to say, hey, look, we feel like that, yes, you had a good game last week, but you get a little handsy. And so are you going to grab and pull? And, if that's going to be the case, then it's going to be a flag. But if you're not, we know that you have ball skills. We know that you can go out there and make plays with the football. The only thing that I have seen really that he has struggled with, Debo, is when you have the quicker wide receivers.
Okay.
If you don't put a quicker wide receiver on him, then he's probably going to be really, really physical with that guy, and he's going to be able to, really have his way. But I've seen at times the quicker wide receiver, and that may be most physical corners, they struggle with that guy because maybe they can't get their hands on him as much just because of the shiftiness or the quickness from that receiver. And so for Paulson, keep stacking.